Something important begins to change in the body long before most people notice it, and it often starts in the legs, where circulation naturally becomes less efficient with age. Blood does not move with the same strength, vessels lose flexibility, and the delivery of oxygen to the muscles becomes slower, more limited, and less consistent. This is why many older adults begin to feel subtle signs that are easy to ignore, such as cold feet, heaviness in the legs, or a strange sense of fatigue even after short walks. These are not random discomforts. They are early signals that circulation is no longer being supported the way it should be, and when this process continues quietly over time, it can affect balance, coordination, and overall stability, making simple movements feel less secure than they once were. One of the most overlooked factors behind this decline is not inactivity or age alone, but the lack of specific nutrients that help blood vessels relax, expand, and function properly. Without this support, the body has to work harder to push blood through narrower, less responsive pathways, especially in the lower body, where gravity already creates additional resistance. This is where a simple natural solution begins to stand out, not as a trend or a quick fix, but as a tool that directly supports how the body functions at a deeper level. Certain natural oils contain compounds that can help improve circulation by supporting the flexibility of blood vessels and enhancing the flow of blood to areas that need it most. This is particularly important for the legs because they rely on consistent blood supply to maintain strength, responsiveness, and coordination. When circulation improves, muscles receive more oxygen, nerves communicate more efficiently, and movement becomes more stable and controlled. This does not happen overnight, but the difference can be noticeable when the body is given what it has been missing for a long time. The key is understanding that circulation is not only about the heart, it is about the entire vascular system working together in balance. And when one part begins to weaken, especially in the legs, the effects can spread into mobility, independence, and quality of life. Many people assume that feeling slower or less stable is simply part of getting older, but in many cases, it is the result of circulation that is no longer being properly supported. And once that support is restored, the body can respond in ways that often surprise people. Even after the age of 60, there is one particular oil that has gained attention for its ability to support this process, naturally helping blood move more freely, while also providing additional benefits for the heart and muscles. But before understanding how to use it correctly, it is essential to recognize why this oil works and what makes it different from other common dietary habits. Because once this connection becomes clear, the approach to daily health changes completely, and what once seemed like a small detail becomes a powerful advantage for maintaining strength and stability over time. The effectiveness of this oil comes from its ability to influence one of the most critical systems in the aging body, the vascular system, which is responsible for transporting oxygen, nutrients, and essential compounds to every cell over time. This system becomes less efficient, not because it fails completely, but because it gradually loses responsiveness. The inner lining of the blood vessels becomes more rigid, reducing their ability to expand and contract as needed. This process limits blood flow, especially to the lower extremities, where circulation is already more challenging due to distance from the heart. As a result, muscles in the legs may receive less oxygen, nerves may respond more slowly, and even small movements can begin to feel less controlled. This is where extra virgin olive oil begins to play a meaningful role, not as a supplement, but as a natural compound that works in harmony with the body, rich in polyphenols and healthy monounsaturated fats. This oil supports the production of nitric oxide, a molecule that helps blood vessels relax and widen when blood vessels are able to expand more easily. Circulation improves and blood can move with less resistance, reaching the muscles and tissues that depend on it. This effect is especially important for the legs, where improved circulation can lead to better muscle responsiveness, greater stability, and a reduced feeling of heaviness or fatigue. In addition to supporting blood flow, olive oil also helps reduce low-grade inflammation, which is one of the hidden contributors to vascular decline. Inflammation can damage the inner walls of blood vessels over time, making them less flexible and more prone to restriction. By helping to calm this process, olive oil contributes to a healthier vascular environment, allowing the body to function more efficiently as a whole. Another important benefit is its role in protecting the heart, which is the driving force behind circulation. A stronger, more efficient heart can pump blood more effectively, ensuring that even the most distant areas of the body, such as the feet and legs, receive adequate supply. This combination of improved vessel flexibility, reduced inflammation, and enhanced heart function creates a foundation for better mobility and overall physical confidence. However, the impact of this oil depends greatly on how it is used. Simply adding it occasionally to meals is not enough to create meaningful change. Consistency plays a crucial role, and small daily amounts can gradually support the body in a way that builds over time rather than delivering a sudden effect. It is also important to use high-quality oil because not all products offer the same concentration of beneficial compounds. Cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil retains more of its natural polyphenols, which are responsible for many of its positive effects on circulation when used correctly. This oil becomes more than just a dietary addition. It becomes part of a daily strategy to maintain strength, stability, and independence as the body continues to age. And while its benefits are significant, there is another factor that determines whether these effects are fully realized or partially lost, and most people overlook it completely. How this oil is used can make a significant difference in how the body responds to it, and this is where many people unintentionally lose most of its potential benefits. The body does not simply absorb nutrients based on quantity. It responds to timing, consistency, and the conditions under which those nutrients are consumed. For example, taking a small amount of extra virgin olive oil in the morning on an empty stomach allows the body to absorb its compounds more efficiently without interference from other foods. This creates a more direct pathway for its active components to support blood vessel function early in the day, when circulation is beginning to increase. Another effective approach is combining the oil with foods that naturally enhance its absorption, such as leafy greens or vegetables rich in antioxidants. This combination creates a synergistic effect where the nutrients work together to support vascular health more effectively than when consumed separately. Temperature also plays an important role. Exposing the oil to high heat can degrade many of its beneficial compounds, reducing its effectiveness. This is why using it raw, such as drizzled over meals or taken directly in small amounts, tends to preserve its full nutritional profile. Consistency remains the most critical factor. Using the oil occasionally may offer some benefit, but regular daily use allows its effects to build gradually within the body over time. This can lead to noticeable improvements in how the legs feel during movement, less stiffness, greater ease when walking, and a more stable sense of balance. Another detail that is often overlooked is hydration. Blood flow depends not only on vessel flexibility, but also on the fluidity of the blood itself. When the body is not properly hydrated, blood can become thicker and more difficult to circulate, which places additional strain on the vascular system. Combining proper hydration with the daily use of olive oil creates a more supportive internal environment for circulation to improve movement, also enhances these effects. Even light daily walking can stimulate blood flow and help the body make better use of the nutrients it receives. This does not require intense exercise. Simple, consistent movement is enough to support the natural rhythm of circulation. When these elements are combined, timing, quality, consistency, hydration, and movement, the body is given the conditions it needs to function more efficiently, and in many cases the improvements are not dramatic at first, but they are steady and reliable, building strength over time rather than appearing and disappearing quickly. However, even with the right habits, there is another hidden factor that can interfere with circulation and reduce the benefits of everything being done correctly. And understanding this factor is essential because it is often present in everyday routines without being recognized. One of the most underestimated obstacles to healthy circulation is not what the body lacks, but what it is constantly exposed to through daily habits that seem harmless at first glance. Certain common foods and lifestyle patterns can quietly interfere with blood flow by promoting inflammation, increasing blood thickness, and reducing the flexibility of blood vessels. Processed foods high in refined carbohydrates and unhealthy fats are among the main contributors because they can disrupt metabolic balance and place stress on the vascular system over time. This can lead to a gradual narrowing of blood vessels, making it more difficult for blood to move freely, especially toward the legs and feet. Excessive sugar intake also plays a role by damaging the inner lining of blood vessels, which affects their ability to expand and contract efficiently. This creates a situation where even if beneficial nutrients are introduced, the body may not be able to fully utilize them due to underlying resistance within the system. Another factor is prolonged inactivity. Sitting for extended periods reduces the natural stimulation of blood flow in the lower body, allowing circulation to slow down significantly. This can lead to a feeling of heaviness, swelling, and reduced responsiveness in the legs, which many people mistakenly attribute only to aging. In reality, it is often a combination of reduced movement and weakened vascular support that creates these sensations. There is also the impact of chronic stress, which affects circulation in a more indirect but equally important way. Stress hormones can cause blood vessels to constrict, reducing the efficiency of blood flow and placing additional strain on the heart. When this state becomes constant, it can further limit the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to the muscles and nerves in the legs. This is why improving circulation is not about a single solution, but about removing what interferes while adding what supports. When harmful patterns are reduced and supportive habits are introduced, the body begins to restore balance more naturally. This is where the role of olive oil becomes even more effective because it is no longer working against resistance, but alongside a system that is ready to improve. Small adjustments, such as reducing processed foods, increasing daily movement, and managing stress levels, can amplify the benefits of any nutritional support. And when these changes are combined consistently, the body can respond with greater efficiency, allowing circulation to improve in a way that feels more natural and sustainable. This is not about perfection, but about direction, choosing habits that support the body rather than slowly working against it. And once this shift begins, the difference can often be felt not only in the legs, but in overall energy, clarity, and confidence in daily movement. As the body becomes more responsive, the next step is understanding how these improvements translate into real-life changes that matter the most for maintaining independence and quality of life. When circulation begins to improve, the changes are not always immediate or dramatic, but they tend to appear in ways that are deeply meaningful for daily life. Movements that once felt heavy begin to feel lighter, steps become more stable, and the sense of control over the body gradually returns for many older adults. This translates into something far more valuable than physical comfort. It restores confidence, the ability to move without fear and to trust the body again. Walking longer distances, standing up more easily, and feeling less fatigue throughout the day are often the first signs that the body is responding positively. These improvements are not the result of a single action, but the accumulation of consistent, supportive habits that work together over time. Better circulation allows muscles to receive the oxygen they need, nerves to respond more accurately, and joints to move with less resistance. This creates a chain reaction where improved movement encourages more activity, and more activity further supports circulation, creating a positive cycle. As this cycle strengthens, it can influence other aspects of health, including mental clarity and emotional well-being. Feeling physically stable often reduces anxiety related to falling or losing independence, which can have a significant impact on overall quality of life. This is why focusing on circulation is not only about the legs, it is about maintaining the ability to live freely and engage fully in everyday experiences. The role of olive oil within this process remains simple, yet powerful. When used consistently and combined with supportive habits, it becomes part of a foundation that helps the body function more effectively. It does not replace movement, hydration, or balanced nutrition, but it enhances their effects by supporting the vascular system at its core over time. This integrated approach can help preserve mobility, strength, and independence in a way that feels natural rather than forced. The body does not need extreme interventions to function well. It needs steady, reliable support that aligns with its natural processes. And when that support is provided consistently, even small changes can lead to meaningful long-term results. Maintaining circulation is ultimately about maintaining freedom. The freedom to move, to think clearly, and to continue participating in life with confidence. Each daily choice contributes to this outcome, whether it is the food selected, the habits maintained, or the level of care given to the body. And while aging is inevitable, how the body responds to it is influenced by those choices in ways that are often underestimated. Supporting circulation through simple, consistent actions can become one of the most effective ways to protect that independence over time. This approach is not about chasing perfection, but about creating a rhythm of care that the body can rely on every day. And when that rhythm is established, the future no longer feels uncertain. It becomes something that can be approached with strength, stability, and a renewed sense of control.